Well, it's officially that time of year again. It's Christmas time. And around here, that means it's time for some much needed holiday cheer. Or maybe, just maybe, some holiday jeer. Which is why for every long form video I will release all of this December, we're diving deep into the world of Christmas specials. In all of these in-depth reviews, we're going to revisit the ones I love with all of my heart, the ones that define the season for me, and, unfortunately, the ones that I hate with a fiery passion. And sadly, we have to start this series on a sour note, because today, we're going to be tackling a special that has genuinely bothered me since I was a little kid. A special so bad, so charmless that I just have to talk about it. I am talking, of course, about 1979's Frosty's Winter Wonderland. If any of you know who Frosty the Snowman is, then no introduction is needed. He is a holiday icon that has a very catchy song that is full of different versions by many different music artists, and has a beloved Christmas special of the same name that is full of heart, personality, and charm unlike its terrible follow-up. I will explain many of my thoughts as we go through this movie, but now let's look into this special and see why this charmless cash grab should have stayed in the South Pole. So the special opens with the group of kids we all love building a... Wait.
He's not
What?
going to come to life.
Of course not. He's not Frosty the Snowman.
Only the real Frosty can come to life.
Gee, I wish he'd come back.
Yeah, we're not even a minute into this special, and everything here is already fucked up. First off, in the first 10 seconds, they try to replace Frosty the Snowman. Bro, you can never replace Frosty, and yet these kids had the gall to nearly replace him because they just want him to come back and play with them? I'd call shenanigans on these children by now. And speaking of children, second off, all of the kids from the original have been replaced by new kids. This meant that they got rid of Karen and replaced her with this ginger copycat. And I guess they split the role in two, since there's that kid in the brown jacket that's always with her. And I guess he's her brother too. This movie even has its own Kenny for 1979. And Andy Griffith, the new narrator of the story, looks like a child predator in disguise. Like, he picked up the Kenny kid and he didn't care whatsoever. Bro, that's some stranger danger behavior. Then Andy sings the iconic song both these specials were based on. Oh, I so hope he keeps Jimmy Durante's legacy alive.
Frosty the Snowman.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but this rendition of this song is just not it. So we see Frosty sulking back at the North Pole and he wishes to see the kids again, until he gets a newspaper saying winter has come to town early. And then he says,
Hey, some days today.
so bro writes a letter to the kids and this is how they obviously react.
Yippee! Frosty's coming back.
One other thing I'd like to mention is that the voice acting is just terrible. The children brought on to play these kids sound like they're doing this for only a check. Jackie Vernon's back as Frosty in this, but his voice sounds so tired that the character feels more boring than fun. Jack Frost's voice makes him sound like an annoying prick. Trust me, I'll get more to him later. Like, everyone in this special just sounds so boring. And that alone is not a good sign for what's ahead. So Andy does his little monologue and then says,
You've heard the old familiar tale, how Frosty came to life. But do you know the story of how Frosty took a wife?
oh, I can't wait to hear that story. So the kids are playing and having fun with Frosty as expected, until we get introduced to Jack Frost, this movie's villain. You probably didn't get it, but I used quotes on that. And is jelly at Frosty for absolutely no reason. Seriously, he is the main antagonist of this movie, and yet he has very unclear motivations. And all we could assume is that Jack hates Frosty just for the sake of it. Bro gives King Magnifico from Wish a run for his money. So Jack Frost then blows and makes Frosty and the two kids go through a near-death experience, and Jack tries to make himself look like the greatest being ever. Yet Frosty and these kids don't give two shits about him, and they just leave and continue their race. Jack then keeps sulking until he gets an idea.
That hat, yes. I'll eliminate the hat, and that will be that.
Great idea, Captain Obvious. So Frosty and the kids keep having fun together, from riding in a sleigh on horseback and figure skating, and the kids ask Frosty if he could do an 8. Yet he does a 9. You've been alive for how long, and you messed up on making an 8 this badly? Oh well, he's a snowman and is still gaining his intelligence, so could I blame him? So Jack then does his blowing wind powers to get Frosty's hat, and then he does.
Well, there was so much snow blowing around that Jack Frost didn't see that he had the wrong hat.
So in other words, he basically failed. The next afternoon, the two main kids' parents are calling them home for dinner, and Frosty says to them that he feels lonely, cries on camera, and gets massive emotional support. The two then give Frosty the idea of him having a wife, and they explain what a wife is to him because he's trying to learn the simplest of things.
You know, someone you think is very beautiful, who thinks you're very handsome, and will love you back when you love her.
Gee, what a great invention.
So Frosty caves in and the kids get started on their new creation, Mrs. Frosty. They finish making her and they recreate the iconic naming scene that now feels less unfunny than the original.
Cleopatra? Nah. Ermentrude? Nah. Minnehaha? Nah. Nah. Cornflakes? Cornflakes?
How about Crystal?
Yeah.
Frosty then says hi to Crystal, only to realize she isn't alive. Like Frosty, they need something magical in anything they could find, so they settle for a raggedy old hat from one of the horses, and when they place it on her head, nothing happens. So Frosty cries again, and meanwhile, Jack Frost realizes he got the wrong hat, and then does the average, I will do this bad thing, scene any freaking villain does. Back with Frosty, he's still sad over Crystal not coming to life, until he gave her some frost flowers, and then...
Happy birthday!
Crystal, I've been waiting all day. What kept you?
Oh, Frosty, I thought you'd never think of those flowers.
Yeah, even the voice actor they got for Crystal sounded like she did not want to do this special at all. So Jack officially blows Frosty's hat off, and he dies.
No more Frosty! No more Frosty! No more Frosty!
I swear this Jack Frost pisses me off. Then Crystal brings Frosty back to life with a snowflower and a kiss. And Jack Frost realizes his plan came out as absolutely pointless and throws the hat back, and Jack gets instant karma. He totally deserves it. Then the snow couple tells these kids late at night, by the way, that it's time for the wedding. Then the pastor comes and he says that he can only get real people married. But he pitches in to make a snow pastor to get Frosty and Crystal married. So the kids again make another Frosty, this time a pastor with no name, and they bring it to life with the pastor's book.
Happy birthday!
The group cheers at their success, but oh no, it's Jack Frost, and he tries to kill all these people in a snowstorm. But Crystal then realizes it's Jack Frost and tells him to stop the wind, and he does, and Crystal invites him to the wedding. So Jack became a good guy in just a minute, so his whole villain arc in this entire movie is just unnecessarily pointless. So the two get married, and you think that's the end? No, we still have a few minutes left of this bore fest. And you know, throughout this video, every time I show scenes from this movie, it's sped up a bit. Well, that's because one of my main complaints with this special is that they drag out these scenes and make them unnecessarily slow at times, which makes this TV special so boring. So winter goes on way into April, and with Jack Frost around, winter could go on forever. until the pastor comes in and does the think of the plants move.
But what about all the trees with new green leaves inside them just busting to be born? And what about the seeds and the bulbs deep in the ground? Nature made them a promise that someday they'd be pretty flowers. Can you imagine how you'd feel if someone broke such a promise to you?
So the Frosties and now Jack Frost decide to go back to the North Pole, and while these kids will miss them, they'll be back. They say it all the time, but they'll be back. So they go into town and reach the train station, and they only let the police officers show up because they want to include the iconic gag character in this Frosty the Snowman sequel. Yet the one here is less funny than the original, which adds to its already painfully unfunny humor. So the snow people reach the train and leave for the North Pole. The seasons go on as they should until winter comes back. Yada, 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 you fucking get it. Frosty's Winter Wonderland is undoubtedly, in my opinion, one of the worst Christmas specials I've seen and the biggest failure in terms of sticking to the original's continuity, even for a sequel. It took everything charming and simple about the original special and turned it into a boring mess that ruined everything. The voice acting goes from dull to annoying, its story makes no sense, its characters have no charm or personality, its animation is cheap, its humor is painfully unfunny, the love angle is severely underdeveloped and pointless, and the whole special is just overall boring with no wit, no actual stakes, no memorable villain, and no charming factors whatsoever. Only for it to look like a soulless cash grab just to give kids more Frosty the Snowman when the special and even the merchandise was enough. If the sequel was more about Karen from the original all grown up, having a kid of her own, and gets Frosty's help to show her kid the fun of Christmas wonder and whimsy, it could be worthwhile for people who grew up on the original in 1969. But as is, this is a horrible special to show your family and your friends on Christmas, especially if you're showing it to those who watched, loved, and grew up on the original. There's nothing interesting, nothing worthwhile. This special offers and means absolutely nothing, leaving the whole thing to come out overall as pointless as other bad Christmas specials out there. If anyone likes this special, that's fine with me. I'm an advocate of free speech. It's just that this special is not for me at all. For my recommendation, if you're one of those people who hate Frosty the Snowman, then you'll hate this even more. But if you love Frosty, you may love this as well, or it would be the opposite of that. At this point, I will forever stick to the OG Frosty the Snowman, instead of watching a special that is and is about nothing. And for that reason, I give Frosty's Winter Wonderland 1 thumbs up Jimbo out of 5. Anyways, that's it for this review. If you have your own thoughts about this special, you could tell me in the comments down below. I'll get into more good Christmas specials since this is the only terrible one I wanted to talk about. So yeah, I'll see you in the next Christmas special review. Peace. Why hey there, you officially reached the end of the video. All I can say is, thank you so much for watching this video. No, seriously, I mean it. I thank you for watching this video all the way through. It really warms my heart. Make sure to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel, as this channel runs entirely on your support, as without it, I won't be able to make videos like these. Anyways, I'm Braxpo, and I will see you around. Stay chill, peeps.